I've never found a love like this. There it is. I've never found a love like this.
Hello everyone, welcome back to E20 Zone TV. I really do hope you're having a good day on this Monday. No football at the weekend, and it was a shame to not have no football, but it was understandable due to the death of Her Majesty the Queen. And moving forward now, onto this week, we have got some big games coming up. Obviously, Thursday night, we're off to Denmark, and then on Sunday, it's just been confirmed that West Ham are playing Everton at Goodison Park on Sunday afternoon. But I'm going to be able to talk about basically, has this break really benefited West Ham in a way? For me, it definitely has. I think West Ham have been not good this year, not good. And I think changing the systems, trying to do too much too soon, I think sometimes if you do that, you ain't going to get the best of what you're trying to achieve. And for me, I think this little mini break that we've had, no Newcastle game, we had an hard game Thursday night against FC SB, but we got the job done in the end, like, to say the least. But on Thursday night, I need to see the same again. And then definitely on Sunday, I need to see a different West Ham. Do you know what I'm saying? Obviously, I feel the break come at the perfect time. You can now bed in players and look at players in a different light. I think Scamacca wasn't fit. And I do think Paqueta needed time to sort of settle in and to sort of get to know his teammates, really. Like, I think the man's just been chucked in at the deep end, and he's played 2 games. He played against Spurs in the second half, and he played against Chelsea. And then, obviously, he played against FC SB. But Premier League games is where I'm looking at. I'm not really looking at the conference, right? Because I think the conference will take care of itself, to say the least. But I will get to the comments shortly, so please leave a comment in the comment section if you wish to do so. But I hope that West Ham come out with a different attitude moving forward, like, and attack teams on the front foot. I will say this, like, I'm not what's the word? Like, I'm not opposing the 3-4-3, but I just look at us and I just don't see us being a 3-4-3 team. But I do feel that with sort of systems and all that, you need time to bed them in, gel them in, and get the players adapted to them, really. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I think West Ham has been trying to do it in-house, in games, and trying to get the job done, like, as time goes on. So, for me, I look at it that the breaks come out at a good time. Obviously, in other news, that Aguerd is looking like he's near enough getting back to full fitness. A couple more weeks, and he will be back. And I cannot wait. I cannot wait for this man to play officially, for an official game in a West Ham shirt. It's been a long time with Aguerd, but I do feel once the international break is been and gone, the Wolves home game, you could see him on the bench. I really do. Well, I think 4 weeks is about right. So I think the Newcastle game, not playing that game, might have helped us. Because I think as time was going on, I just don't think we was looking really that good. But it'd be interesting to see what everyone thinks in the chat. Obviously, Denmark on Thursday is going to be a experience for West Ham, but I do expect West Ham to go there and put in a professional performance and get the job done. Obviously, it's a bit of a different scenario now because I think last week against FC SB, I think West Ham and Moyes knew that the games were going to be called off at the end of the sort of night. Do you know what I mean? For the weekend. So I don't know. I think on Thursday, got to go there, get it done. Yeah. Then for me, we have to end on a high against Everton at Goodison on the Sunday. We have to. Like, because I've just not seen anything productive of West Ham in like the 6 games that I've seen West Ham play. Now, I'll quickly run through them. But the first game against Manchester City, I look at other teams, and other teams have pushed Manchester City this year, and we just let them walk all over us. The Forest game, we can say we was unlucky. Listen, we can all say we was unlucky. Nothing went right for us that day. But yet again, we come away with nothing. Do you know what I'm saying? Then we played Brighton at home, I think it was, and we just got completely mullered. Like, the Villa game was a lucky win. even though if you was to sum it up, who was a better team, you'd probably say it was us. The Spurs game, I've got to admit, the second half of Spurs, I thought it was excellent. I will say this. And I will say that when I look at us in the second half against Spurs, if we could replicate that form for 90 minutes each week, we would be an absolute top class side. But yeah, like against Spurs, we was decent in that second half, and we should have won that game. There's no we should have definitely won that game. And then the Chelsea game. Now, obviously, the Chelsea game is still bitter with every West Ham fan, and VAR played its role in denying us a point at Stamford Bridge. But for 70 minutes of that game, 75 minutes of that game, we had Chelsea controlled. Like they was throwing everything at us, and we controlled the situation. We took the lead, and we had it under control until one mistake, and it gave them confidence, and they come back into the game. Don't get me wrong. I didn't like the collapse of West Ham from going 1-0 up to 2-1 down in such a short space of time, and I'll openly say that. But for 70 minutes of that game, I didn't see Chelsea scoring. I really didn't until the mistake. So there is positive signs, but there is also negatives. Like I don't like this sort of this. He tries to do 2 or 3 systems in one game, sort of thing. Like, do you know what I mean? He just doesn't set his stall out and go right 4-3-3. Let's attack and see how we get on. It's either a 4-3-3 or 4-2-3-1, but it's like the players are always interchanging all the time. And I just think you can do that if you have got a team that's been together for a long time. But this is quite a new team. Obviously, Emerson, Paqueta, like even Kira to a point, like he's come back in to the equation. And the sooner we get Aguerd back, we can push Kira to right back, in my opinion. I think he'd be an excellent right back for West Ham United Football Club. And I can't stress that enough. I think he's been one of our top players. I really do. Obviously, Skamaka has been missing for games recently, and he didn't look fit Thursday night. I will say that. I thought Thursday night he looked a shadow of himself. He missed them chances, and he just didn't look. He just didn't look the same player. He didn't look the player that we bought. Let's put it like that. But as time goes on, and like another weeks of training and integrating and everything, hopefully we will see a different Gianluca at West Ham United. Do you know what I'm saying? So I don't know how this week's going to be. Like, I think Thursday night, what can we really take out of Thursday night? I expect us to win the game Thursday night and win well. Obviously, the Sunday is big for me, right? Everton away. We went there last year, we won, but we won sort of. I can't remember the scoreline last year, but I think we just nicked it at their place last year, if I remember rightly. The last 2 years, we've nicked it 1-0, if I remember rightly. I think Angelo scored last year in a 1-0 win. And then the year before that, we nicked another 1-0 win. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens at Goodison on Sunday. Yeah, because Everton also have had time now to sort of gel their team together. Do you know what I'm saying? So obviously, I feel the break has been good for West Ham. And hopefully Moyes has sorted this sort of system out where they're all pushing in the same direction. So I just feel in some games, West Ham they just don't look the same team as they once were. Like 2 years ago, when we went through that sort of COVID season, we looked fresh. We looked like we could go through teams. And excuse me, when we go 1-0 down years ago, I always thought West Ham could always come back. I'm not feeling it with this side at present. I really am not. Like, don't get me wrong, we've done it against Chelsea, against Tottenham, but I just don't see it enough of that. Like, because it's Tottenham, you should be acting like that against Brentford, against Bournemouth, against whoever. Do you know what I'm saying? So we will see what happens. We really will. So let's have a look and see what you're all saying. Lewis, hiya, mate. Sorry I haven't tuned in for a while. Been ill with my epilepsy. No worries, mate. I hope you get well soon. Afternoon, Robert. What we got? Love channel, love guests, love Mitch, West Ham Online, Lucas, etc. Keep it up. Cheers, Rory. Hope you're well, mate. Sorry for arguing with your guests a bit previous. Buster, listen, everyone's got an opinion on this channel, mate. I don't agree with some of the opinions. Don't get me wrong, but I've got to respect them. Do you know what I'm saying? But some opinions do baffle me sometimes, whether people are generally serious or they're trolling. So it's one of the two. But Fair enough, Buster. Vinay. Chelsea were there for the taking. Needed a more attacking lineup and start with Areola. I'm a broken record player on Areola, but Fab in goal encourages the opposition to cross into the box. I couldn't agree any more with that. I really couldn't. The problem is with Areola. Yeah, I agree. Areola should be number one at West Ham. Like, I think Fab's done his time, but I think this was the year to hand over the reign to Areola and say, there you go. Obviously, Fab got injured first game of the season. This will go back to the first game. And Areola made that absolute hell of a decision to bring Haaland down. And maybe if he would have played better in that game and not made that mistake, maybe Areola would be starting games. Do you know what I'm saying? But I think Fabianski's walking on thin ice, in my opinion. Right? I think that the goal against Chelsea last time out was the first goal was a howler. I don't think he gets to come out that way. And I think an experienced goalkeeper stays there and judges whether it's going to go out or not. Do you know what I mean? I think even if Chilwell crosses that in, I don't think it's going anywhere. So I do agree, like, with what you're saying about the attacking lineup, but I've got to disagree that I thought we had Chelsea massively under control. Like, we're not going to go to Chelsea and blast them out the ground. I know they was there for the taking, but that's just not us. We play on the counter. What I don't like is we've become very defensive minded, whereas before we were more attack minded. So it's going to be interesting to see how we do this going forward. Like, obviously on Sunday, because I don't look at the conference, I look at the Premier League more so. How are we going to set up against Everton? Now, Everton, for my liking, are they setting up 3-4-3 or are they setting up 4-3-3? I don't know. I don't know how Everton's set up. Now, if Everton set up 3-4-3, I'm concerned because if West Ham go there and try and match them up again, I don't know where this is going in regards of the attacking threat. But we've got so many attackers. We've got Cornet who's firing for position there. Skamaka, Bowen scored the other night. Or, no, he didn't score the other night. He made a lot of chances the other night. And he did score. He scored the penalty. So, and where's that come from? Like, Jared Bowen, the penalty taker, all of a sudden. Been crying out for a penalty taker for ages. But, we move. Any new shows in the works, mate? This week, I am thinking about doing a watch-along on Thursday night. Thinking about it. I will say this. I want to try and bring some more fresh stuff to this channel. So a watch-along with one or a couple of the lads would be a good laugh. I think we would have a right good laugh on that. What else have I got lined up? Obviously, player ratings after Thursday, after Sunday. I'm just seeing how it goes because obviously, with the news that we've just received in what's happened recently, you couldn't really plan anything. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I have got one show that I have got lined up where I do feel it's going to be a brilliant one, but I'm not going to mention anything because I don't want anyone nicking my ideas. So, yeah, it's going to be. I've got some good ideas on here, man. I'm just going to keep marching on. Do you know what I'm saying? In another season, the results go for us, but I'm optimistic that we will recover enough to move up the table. I am. Robert, I'll be honest with you, I am now. Now they've had a bit of a break. I was concerned about the Newcastle game. I won't lie. I thought if West Ham go into that and lose that, then I'm majorly worried. I think this sort of 10-day rest period that we're going to have, or not really, it's 10 days, it's 7 days really, because obviously you've got the conference, but to not have no game for that sort of amount of time, especially in the Premier League, I'm quite happy about that because it gives them the time to sort of get the Premier League team together and working on different patterns of play and, do you know what I mean, how people play and best positions to lead people in, etc. I've just not seen enough of it this year. And it ain't me being negative. Listen, if the boys are doing good, I'll praise them up. And anyone who knows me knows I will do that. But you've got to see it for what it is. In certain games this year, we've been shite. We've been absolutely shocking. And we haven't looked like scoring a goal. Like against Villa, we didn't look like scoring. Like we could have been there all night and we managed to find one out of nowhere, really, if I'm honest. What we got? Let's have a look. I can't see this break doing anything but help us. I'm sure the break will get the team gelling and let's hope we'll see in the next game. I think the next game we have to see something, Hammerhead. I'll be honest. We have to see some sort of something new. Something new. Do you know what I'm saying? Bowen took the penalty. Yeah, I agree, mate. We're lucky Everton are a fucking shambles, a bit of a shambles. They can't get shit going. Ovia and your guests. Thank you, Derek. I agree. What we got? Let's go down here. Harry, how are you today, Jones? How are you feeling? I'm good, mate. I'm good. Obviously, Thursday night was a bit of a shock to everyone. I won't lie. Coming on to do like the player ratings after what had happened. And do you know what? I just want to mention this. Because I did mention it on Thursday, but I'm going to mention it again if anyone didn't see what I've done on Thursday night show. Listen, we've got the best fans on the fucking planet, mate. Absolute best fans on the planet. I won't have no youngsters tell me any different, right? When the fans in the London Stadium are singing the national anthem with passion and like pride, that to me is just blows out every other club on the fucking planet. Do you know what I mean? And yeah, listen, it was a sad day on Thursday. Right, whether you're into that or you're not into that, don't get me wrong. I'm not a royalist, but I'm a human being, and that was someone's grandmother. You know what I mean, and etc. So you've got to have a bit of an art about it. But I'm just going to say our fans are just the best. They are just the fucking best, mate. And I'll argue with any rival fan going. Do you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I'm all good, man. I'm all good. I agree. Moyes has to do something the next game against his former club, Everton. It's got to be a change. Right? It's got to be. I want to see this sort of Red Bull model. I keep hearing about it, but I want to see something about it. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm giving Moyes 5 games to make a change and push on, or he's got to go. Do you know what? Our next 5 now, because it's a bit jumbled. Now, I'm taking the conference games out of it because I expect West Ham to qualify at that group. And if West Ham don't, then he should be sacked. Simple as that. Our next few games, correct me if I'm wrong, are Everton, Wolves, Fulham, and I think we've got like Manchester United in there at some point, and Bournemouth around that sort of time frame. I'll be honest, yeah, the next 3 games. So I'm going to go with the next 3. So that's Everton, Wolves, and Fulham. I expect 7 points, at least. Like it has to be at least 7 points. Like we've got to be taking these teams out, and for me, I'm not seeing it. I've not seen it yet. Do you know what I'm saying? Not to say I'm not going to see it, but I need to see this sort of different level. Do you know what I mean? What I can't understand, and this is coming from me, is that last season we had the bare minimum players. I mean, literally bare minimum. We were down to what, 14 players. Every week you knew you're starting 11, and you knew the subs that were coming on, and everyone else was there just as a backup or an emergency. Yeah. This year we've signed some absolute top class players, and it's in the attacking threat. We just don't look like we're gelling for some reason. I don't know what it is. I don't know how it's gone like that. But for me, it just don't feel like we're interacting. Do you know what I'm saying? So we will see what happens. Obviously, I want to try and be positive about it because I think one good win could kickstart West Ham. I do believe that. And I do believe if we can sort of get that first win and win well, that's another thing. Like against Villa, we won the game, but it didn't feel like that we played well in that game. It really, really didn't. Like someone mentioned it the other day against Aston Villa and against Chelsea, we didn't have a shot on target in both halves. Right, in the first half. Do you know what I'm saying? So it is a worry. I just need it all to sort of gel together, and then I'll be comfortable and I'll be happy. I'll be like, yeah, I can see what's going on here. Do you know what I'm saying? So I think the Everton game is a performance. I've got to analyse the performance first off, and you've also got to analyse the result. Like I think there's 2 ways of looking at it. There really is. Let's go into your comments and see what we're all saying. West Ham fans are the best. I agree, mate. Yeah. What's beautiful them singing the anthem. My little mate even said we were class. Yeah. 5 Premier games. Moyes has to prove something, or his time is up. Prime Moyes can do it because who could we replace him with, really? I don't want to think like that about replacing Moyes, but I get the sentiment. Don't get me wrong. I really do. If we don't get well, the next 3 games, which are Everton, Wolves, and I think it's Fulham, I'm expecting 7 points. Like, do you know what I'm saying? So if we go to Everton and draw and we beat Wolves at home and I think it's Fulham at home, then I can accept that. I can't accept any less than that, really. Right? You just can't. So, yeah. Terry Tampa got recommended the channel, and I'm really enjoying it so far. Terry, thank you very much, mate. I really do appreciate your being here. Do you know what I'm saying? You're a West Ham fan, like me, and probably most of the chat. And yeah, thanks for coming on, mate. You will please don't leave when all the others appear because they can be a bit controversial, but it's all love. It's all love. Jazz is back. Hope you're doing all right, mate, with all your circumstances. I hope Moyes can turn it around. Rumours in the media of Tuchel replacing Moyes. Hard to believe it will happen. Oh, mate. Not him. Not the German. I couldn't have Tuchel as manager. I really, really could not have that. Oh, mate, that would make me sick. I love West Ham to bits, yeah, but he's just the most smug, arrogant manager that I've ever come across in my life of watching West Ham. Ever. I've seen some smug managers, but they've been smug for a purpose. They've won a lot of stuff. Tuchel, for me, not for me. I'd rather go and get someone like the Sporting Lisbon manager, who's highly recommended, and he was touted. If Potter would have rejected Chelsea, they were going to go to Sporting Lisbon and get his manager. I'd go there and check him out, mate. I think he's doing a good job there. And when I looked into it with the Sporting Lisbon manager, mate, he knows what he's doing. He's like another Jose Mourinho like reboot. So yeah, Tuchel not for me. Oh, please no. We're back. We are a team lacking confidence, especially from some of our new signings, but that's expected with a new player. I just think it's just integrating them into the team though, Hammer it. Because I look at Kira, yeah, I think he's been brilliant. Yeah, I think he's been very, very unlucky. I think the first game against Brighton, he was thrown in at the deep end and he gave away a silly foul. But I think he's got better as time has gone on. I think he's the new right back at West Ham. If you want me to be honest, I think if Aguerd comes in, yeah, and gets back to fitness, or Craig Dawson can get back to fitness, yeah, I see Kira going as a right back. So I think Cafal's been suspect for a little while. I think Ben Johnson is not fit. So I think Kira can get up and down that right hand side. And I was also impressed with Emerson on the left hand side. Like, no disrespect to Cresswell. Whoever loves Cresswell, fair enough. But Cresswell don't get to the byline and cross balls in. Emerson was doing that quite a lot against Chelsea. Do you know what I'm saying? So we will see. We will see. Even everyone, hope everyone is all well. Glad to hear the news about Everton away. So am I, Lucas. So am I, mate. We need it. We need it. We need to get our focus back on what's going on. It was touch and go. Don't get me wrong, but I think the rail strike has been cancelled. If I'm correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm sure the rail strike has been cancelled for that weekend, which is the right thing to do from the unions and everything. So Everton does go ahead. I'm surprised by the other 3 games that's been cancelled. Brighton, Palace, but that got cancelled before the passing. Manchester United, Leeds, and Chelsea, Liverpool have both been cancelled. Now, 3 out of the 4 teams there that I've just mentioned are the big 6. I'm saying no more. Declan and Paqueta seem to work well, and Benny and Cornet connect well. Need all 4 on the pitch at the same time. I think Cornet done all right the other night. Not like I done the player ratings. People were saying, "Well, what did you give Cornet?" And I said, "Well, I thought he played all right." I thought like he's what it is. He's an outlet. You know what I mean? I love Benny to a point, but Benny's not that rapid to get away from people. Do you know what I mean? He can beat a man, but I think I've always said Benny's an inside forward, and I'll always commit to that. But I think Cornet can do a job on that left-hand side. And I think he needs to play like Cornet left, Bowen right, go with Fornells as your number 10, or if not Ben Rama, and then Antonio up top. I just think you need to get like fast players. And that's one thing West Ham lack at the minute. It's just fast players to get out of positions. Does Paqueta replace Fornells or Souček for you? For how much? Yeah. Souček gets a lot of stick. I don't think he's going anywhere, mate. If I'm being honest, Jazz, I don't think. I think Paqueta comes in and plays with Souček and Moyes in like a 4-3-3. That's why I think the inside forwards are key to this. Do you know what I'm saying? Moyes ain't dropping 4-0. You all know it. So you make it what you make it, really, mate. I just don't see a game, a Premier League game where Souček doesn't play. Not to say it's right, but I just don't see it myself. I look at it and I think, nah, it's just not going to happen. Do you know what I'm saying? So we will see what happens there. Saw E20 Instagram and West Ham online story about it. Now, I watch a lot. One suggested maybe pre-match predictions on every game. Terry, we do that, mate. We do that. But where Thursdays have sort of come into play now, we've sort of slowed that down a bit. But we will do that beforehand. Don't you worry, Terry. You know what I mean? What we got? Moyes has to change it, but it won't. But he won't, in my opinion, because of his stubbornness. Totally agree with that comment. Stubbornness. He only knows one way of playing. The mistakes he is making now are the same mistakes he was making at Everton and Manchester United. Bang on comment. Comment of the night for Mr. 505. I've got to admit, agree with every word there. Stubbornness is the key word there. He has to stop this stubbornness. Like, I had a debate the other day, and I turned around and said, if Cresswell is fit, do you play Cresswell or do you play Emerson? Now, I thought Emerson played all right against Chelsea, if I'm being honest. And I know against SB, he was a bit all over the place, Emerson, but he did score the goal that technically got us back into, got us in front. So, for me, I would play Emerson. I think Emerson's got a lot more to prove than Cresswell. And I think Emerson's at a stage where he's only going to get better, where I don't think Cresswell can get any better, in my opinion. What we got? Let's go down here. Two choices of walking. Come out. Yeah, totally agree. I just do not want that German anywhere near this club. The sooner he's in the job, the better. The board are not going to spend lots of money on a replacement for Moyes until we are in desperate trouble. I agree, but I do think Moyes has to sort of, what's the word? I think Moyes has put himself under pressure now by the amount of spend that West Ham have done. West Ham don't drop 170 million in the ocean for no reason. And I know people can say about, well, we needed some, there's a lot of players that needed to be replaced. Granted, I agree. But you can still go out and spend 100 million and get the same amount of players, but just a lesser quality. The players that we have signed have been top quality players. Now, I don't like to say this, but I'm going to say it. I don't think that if GSB are in control, if Daniel Kadinsky takes over, I don't think Moyes will be there. I think he will give him a chance, and then if it didn't work out, he will get rid of Moyes fast and get a top manager in. You've only got to look at the signings that we've made. We've made top-end players. Like, West Ham don't go and drop 50 million on players. Like, 50 million on one, 30 million on another one. And, like, when you look at the signings that we've made, like, they are full of potential, full of quality, and basically Champions League level type players. So that's where we're aiming for. So, for me, I think Moyes is putting himself under pressure by the expectation of the fans and the ball. Because I don't think the ball would have spent that sort of money without having an end goal, in my opinion. So, yeah. Fornals and Benny versus the lesser teams. Paqueta and Cornet versus the major teams. Yeah, I agree. Pochettino is still available. I would have him. I would. Knows the Premier League, even though he used to manage them up the road, that I do not like to name. Excuse me. I think he's a good manager. It is hard at the minute because there's not a lot of good managers out there now. Now, when I looked at the Chelsea manager getting the sack the other day, Potter gets linked straight away, goes in there. Second favourite's Brendan Rodgers at Leicester. Now, I fear that if anything was to happen at West Ham, I hope West Ham don't go after Brendan Rodgers. So I think Brendan Rodgers is a ticking time bomb there, and I think it's only a matter of time before that sort of self implodes inside of Leicester. So yeah, that Pochettino, if he wanted to come back to the Prem, London-based club, he attracts players. Yeah. Kera is a blinding of a player, throw it all the deep end and perform well. He's 100% our new right back. Yeah, I agree, mate. I think he's excellent. Soucek showing signs of regenerating form, though. I don't think Soucek's going anywhere, mate. I really don't. I mean, I was a defensive and we'll get bored of him. Lisbon manager. Yeah, listen, but the Lisbon manager now, though, Hammerstad, yeah. I'll be honest with you, mate. If you're getting linked with Chelsea straight away, they must have monitored him for a long, long time. I think he's only a young manager, and he's doing bits over there. Like I watched them the other day, their football was slick. And I know it's the Portuguese league. Don't get me wrong, but they're just passing their way through teams. Literally, like excellent. Like, very, very good manager. Well, let's go down a little bit. What we got here? Let's have a look. Does Emerson seem like a short-term quick fix in the left back position, and will probably need a new one next summer? I haven't watched him play yet. I don't know. I feel that Emerson played pretty decent in the last two games. Right, defensively he's a bit suspect. I will say that, but going forward, he's a breath of fresh air. Like he gets down to the byline, he smashes balls on, like not just crosses in. Like the balls that he's putting in are all different types of balls that are coming in. So I think Emerson could be in for another 2, 3, 4 years. Easy. Like, do I think we were going to get another left back? I think next season Cresswell might leave and then we will need another left back. I don't think that left back comes in and takes over Emerson. I think Emerson will be our left back for a few years, then it'd be like another upgrade in a few years' time for me. What have we got? Kafal, Soucek showing glimpses of recently. People seem to not recognise this. I disagree on the Kufal one. I agree on the Soucek one, Troj, but I disagree on the Kafal one. How many times has Kafal just hoofed the ball down the line to no one? And he done it against versus Chelsea. Against FCSB, I can't remember if he even played, right? Really. But I will say this, like he's a frustrating figure, Kafal. If I had a choice between Kira at right back, which is his natural position, right back, or Kafal, I'd go Kira all day. I really would. I want Antonio and Skamaka to start together. Not bad shout, but yeah, I don't think I can see that happening really, if I'm honest. We got knowing GSB that they replace Moyes with Warburton. Don't be surprised. We're not surprised. I don't want Tuchel either. He's a miserable git. Football should be fun. I know it's a serious business. No, I just don't think he's a nice geezer, mate. Really just don't. Like, I think he's very arrogant. He doesn't give his opponents any respect whatsoever. And listen, you've got to give respect where it's due. If the team plays well, you've got to hold your hands out and say, fair enough. Not for me. He's just not a West Ham type of manager, if I'm being honest. Do you know what I'm saying? Right. I just don't see it. I just do not see it at all. Who's the one Premier League player you hate but would equally love to see at West Ham? Son, mate. Cannot stand Son because he always scores against us, and he loves to fall down on the floor quite a lot. But he's a world class footballer in my opinion. Yeah, Son for me. Do you think the Europa League run was just papering over the cracks? Our league form hasn't been great in a while, despite finishing 6th and 7th. Totally agree, mate. Totally, 100% agree with you there. Right? I feel certain games last year, West Ham papered over the cracks massively. Do you know what I mean? Against Brentford away, I know we played a game, but we were absolutely shocking. Even against Norwich, right? We scored 4 against them, yeah, but we weren't great. It was just that they were crap. You know what I mean? And then when we do play a decent side, Brighton away from home last game of the season, we go 1-0 up and we can see 3 in the second half. So there is a worry here. There is a trend where West Ham are playing like basically the same way over and over again, and we're sort of not getting any better. Do you know what I'm saying? So I am worried about that. I am worried. Like it is, and the next 3 games will decide it for me because I expect West Ham to put in decent performances against Everton, Wolves, and Fulham. Right, that's what I expect. And if you don't expect that as a West Ham fan right now, who a team that finished 7th last year, 6th the season before, then for me, I don't know what anyone's seeing. If I'm being honest. So yeah, I do agree on that comment. That comment's bang on. I do sometimes think we are papering over the cracks. Sorry, pretty out of context. Never got to ask you opinions on the 3rd kit. I thought it was decent, mate. I mean, I do like that orange in us, but West Ham bring out loads of kits every year. Just, I do like the old black kit that we used to wear. Well, we never used to lose a game in that one at all. You need 4-0's work rate. It's key to having a player like that in any team. I agree, but he's got to do more than just work rate, though, Scarborough. I will say that. He's got to score goals, he's got to make goals, he's got a semi-assist. He can't just run about a lot for work rate. Because we can say that about Declan. Declan's got good work rate, but Declan Rice will find that killer pass and will deliver consistently. I think with Fornells, in my opinion, so I'm not his biggest fan, I feel that consistency with him is a major thing. I think sometimes he's absolutely amazing, and I will say, hold my hands up and say, yep, he's been brilliant. Other times he goes missing, and you wouldn't even know he's on the pitch. So you've got to be sort of real in what you're saying. Where's everyone today? They're all busy, mate. So I thought I'd just jump on here and do a little stream, as I do. I'd like to see Flynn Downs get a game time in the Premier League. Great comment, Jay Woods. Yeah, I thought Flynn was absolutely brilliant on Thursday night. Really did. First time we've really seen Flynn in a game where you can sort of assess his performance, but he showed glimpses of Scott Parker, Mark Noble in that, like that sort of turn. That Mark Noble, Scott Parker, like change of direction was excellent. I like Flynn Downs. I do. Do I think he was brought in as sort of like a 4th choice? I do believe so. I don't think he gets in the starting lineup for West Ham unless there is injuries there. But I cannot say anything bad about his performance the other night. I thought he was absolutely our best player on the pitch. And for a young man, I like his sort of doggedness and his determination. He roams around that pitch and he chases and he hounds that ball. And what it is, his passes is slick. It's just so good. Like he never, very rarely, like gives away a pass, if ever. And correct me if I'm wrong, but the other day his pass accuracy was like 95, 96%. And I know it was against FCSB. I get that, but you still got to respect it because you still got to do it in the game. So, yeah, Flynn, I think if he puts in consistent performances like that, he's banging on that door and saying, "Well, what's going on, boss?" Seems we got to switch formations to get the new players in, and Moyes tried it and it's failed so far. Hope he can stick with it. Yeah, I agree with it. Nothing wrong with Brendan Rodgers. It's the fact he's had to sell his good players and was not allowed to sign anyone in the into replacement. That's the problem with Leicester. I disagree, Eamon. I really do. I think Brendan Rodgers is very, very stubborn manager also. When you got Vardy on the bench and you're playing attackers who just ain't cutting it, and Vardy's been their top goal scorer for God knows how long, certain situations you should be playing your best players. You need to win. And Vardy up front will score goals. And like the other day against Brighton last week, they got destroyed. They go 1-0 up, then they sort of start falling apart and they end up losing the game 5-2, I think it was. Poor. Let's just get down to the bottom. Let's have a look. What we got? Emerson is just another Mazawaku last 2 games. Let's hope he improves. I disagree again with Eamon. I think Emerson was a lot better than Mazawaku. A lot better going forward. A lot better delivery. Scores a goal to gets us in the game against FCSB. What else did he do good? Defensively, I agree. He's like Mazawaku, but going forward, he's a lot better than Mazawaku, in my opinion. Really do. I feel sorry for Cammy after seeing his interview today. Cammy looks like a shell of himself, and who's coming on watch along. Also, do you like Moyes a lot or not? I saw a little bit of that interview with Chris Kamaria, and it is sad. I've grown up with a lot of the people in the chat with Chris Kamara on Soccer Saturday. Do you know what I mean? And his famous lines and his famous quotes and everything. Yeah, absolute top class bloke, like old school, old school. But seeing what he's got now with the speech problem that he has is just a shame. Really is a shame. And it's I feel for him. I feel for him. Like, I watched a little bit before I've done this live, and yeah, he's struggling, man, and that's mad. The watch along, I don't know. I haven't mentioned it to anyone yet. I will do. And do I like Moyes a lot or not? I like Moyes. I do, Terry. But the only thing I don't like is this stubbornness or keep trying to do too much too soon. Like West Ham, we don't know what system we're playing. We don't know you don't know what his best system is at the minute. So I do like Moyes, and I want Moyes to succeed for how well he's done over the last 2 years. But the stubbornness with him sometimes does really grind into me, like with certain players. But yeah, we will see. When Aguerd and even Dawson is back, there is no harm trying to carry out right back. I agree. If we have two a goal league, can we try it in the cup because Ashby needs to start there? Yep, I agree totally, mate. Let's have a look. I think it will depend where we are before the World Cup break. If they could sack him with plenty of time to find a new manager or use the members of staff that are there to steady the ship. I don't want Moyes to go, gentlemen and ladies. I really don't. But from what I'm seeing from doing the YouTube and everything, when I do look at the chat, and I do look at after when I do the shows, I look at the comment section after and see what comments have been left on the video. The amount of people who are saying that Moyes, they've had enough of Moyes. Now, I think he's under pressure. People say, does that look like a man who's under pressure? No, but I think 170 million of talent has put pressure on him, and I do believe that. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens moving forward with him. But I don't want it. I want him to succeed at West Ham. He started something, and I want him to sort of go out on his own terms. Do you know what I'm saying? But I think when you are setting up 3-4-3, 5-3-2, 4-2-3-1, 4-3-3, and you just don't know the best system with the players that you got, hopefully that's going to change on Sunday, in my opinion, because we have to see a different West Ham. I don't want us to go to Everton, sit back, defend, and try and hit them on the break and hit a 1-0. I want us to go at Everton. We're a better side at Everton. We've got better players than Everton, and we should be dominating that game. Do you know what I'm saying? Or if not, trying to dominate that game. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens on Sunday. I think Sunday's a big, big game. Really is before the international break. We need a quick start. I agree. What we got here? I just agree, James. Sometimes the supporters maybe get the wrong end of the stick because none of us know what goes on in the dressing room. I don't know though, Peter. I think for me personally, he's bought some really good players. And when you look at the team last season to the team now, we don't look any better going forward this year. Like, and I would have thought with Cornet, Skamaka, Paqueta in the ranks, I would have thought West Ham would have looked a lot better than what we've done. But hopefully this break has come at a good time to sort of gel them in together. And what I want to see is I just want to see West Ham pick a system like a 4-3-3 for me personally, or even if you want to go 4-2-3-1 and have like Pablo Fornals as sort of like your box to box number 10 and like ahead of Souček and Rice. Now, if you want pick a system, do it and go with it and try it. It seems like West Ham are shit scared to go forward in case they get countered. And when we do go 1-0 down, we're chasing the game. Like this season, we just haven't looked good, and that's the worry that I have found. We just don't look good. We look good in like for 10 minutes, 20 minutes, and then that's it. It just filter away. So something's got to change. If Cresswell leaves, I think we should go for that young Leon right back. Yeah. West Ham would love a stubborn manager that brings them a FA Cup. Vardy is finished at this level over 90 minutes. I disagree with the Vardy one. Would I love a manager to win us the FA Cup who's stubborn? Yes, Eamon, I would. How much do you want to have a bet with me that we don't win the FA Cup though? Because West Ham are not on that level at the minute. Do you know what I mean? I think it's the last few years, like the big boys have just come and just gone bang, like and just won that. If we're going to win anything this year, we've got to win the conference. Emerson is a glory boy. What about the first half where he kept dribbling and getting robbed halfway into their half and then they broke? Yeah, I know. I'm not saying he's perfect, Rog. I'm not. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying he's better going forward. Emerson was at fault for the FSBC goal. Emerson scoring after papered over that mistake. Well, I disagree. I'm 100% behind Moyes, so you should be, Eamon. So you should be. Emerson is a very average footballer, too crap to play for Brazil, so he switched to Italy. I don't know about that, mate. Italy did win the Euros and beat us, G Weasel, so it can't be that bad. You know what I'm saying? Good evening, everyone. We really need to win against Everton. Totally agree. G Weasel, the team that just won the Euros with him playing in the final. Yes, Scarborough. Do you think there are agendas against certain players? 100%, Derek. 100% there is agendas, yeah, and it's favouritism amongst favouritism. Now, listen, I've backed Benny up, but I've also slagged Benny. And I've also said Benny's been shocking, and people could go back and watch. I've given him 5 4s. I even given him a 3 before, and I said he was absolutely toilet. Yeah. Some people can't get to grips with giving a player a bad rating on each performance. Do you know what I'm saying? Don't get me wrong. I'll give players lesser because maybe I look at them different. But then there's been times before where Pablo Fornals has been an absolute masterclass, and I've sat on these streams doing player ratings with either Mitchell, Lucas, whoever, and said he's been brilliant. Like he's been brilliant, and I've given him high ratings and praised him. So I do think there is agendas against certain players. I don't know why there is, but there is. It just seems like it's like a West Ham thing. Like everyone's got their favourites, and no one really wants to like give a player credit where credit is due, in my opinion. So yeah. Moyes has given us the best 2 seasons in a long time, but here we have fans still dissing him like he has done nothing. The problem is, though, Eamon, and this is a big problem now, he's got £170 million worth of talent, so he's got to perform this year, isn't he? Because if he doesn't, then what is the board and the owners going to say to that? Like West Ham should win the conference with that team, and if we don't win the conference with that team, why are we not winning that conference? We should beat every team in the group stage, and we should at least get to the final of the conference. We've spent £170 million. So, and we haven't just spent £170 million. We've brought in a Moroccan international, a German international, a Brazilian international, an Italian international. We've brought in like international footballers. So, it's not people dissing him. People are concerned because of the situation. Because the last 6 games, Moyes' tactics have been iffy, to say the least. But Everton on Sunday, we hope that changes. Hope Moyes doesn't show Everton too much respect. Totally agree on that comment. Going back there, I hope you don't sit back and try and play on the break. Hammers Forbear played for Real Madrid after his bad injury. Yeah, he was a lad. He was, wasn't it? Sad news about ex-footballer Marcus Stewart, who has been diagnosed with MND. Young ones in here probably won't know who he is. Excellent player. Ipswich, Sunderland. I remember him growing up. I actually remember him. I can't remember when it was, but I think it was like around the 2000 era, 2000, 2001. Marcus Stewart was a decent striker for Ipswich. I remember that. And yeah, absolute shame, mate. Absolute shame. I think he's only 42, if I remember rightly. 42, 44, something along that age bracket. To go and get like MNDs. Oh, I feel for him, man. I really do. What we got here? Why is everyone going at Emerson suddenly? Good question, mate. You know why? Because Cresswell, I love Cresswell. Unless City play a team of youngsters, I can see them cleaning up. even Champions League. We need to win the Conference League. They do that. They are heroes, and we won a trophy more than Spurs. I totally agree. I don't think any domestic trophy we can get near. I really don't, unless we have a lot of luck and a lot of teams get wiped out before they meet us. Can I see us winning anything right now the way we're playing? Not a chance. Not a chance. Can I see us winning the conference though? I can, but we've got to play a bit better than what we're playing at the minute. Like against FCSB, if we're playing a proper side, I mean, like a team that's dropped out of the Champions League, we go 1-0 down. They will control the game. They will buy fouls and all that. Second half, don't get me wrong, we played well on Thursday night, but we can't keep going 1-0 down and then turning it on. Do you know what I'm saying? I've noticed an agenda against Ben Rama, Antonio, and Kafal from our fans. Benny, yes. Antonio, for me, is a long-serving player. I think people have looked at him and gone with certain things. Now we've got a striker in the ranks. Why does he keep playing? But I must admit, he played well on Thursday night, even though I give him a poor rating. And when I look back at it, I was ashamed of myself. Kafal was an interesting one for me. Started off well, and since then, he hasn't been the same player. He has 2 games, everyone praises him up, but they forget the last 10 he's played. So the Kafal one, if we had a better right back, which we do have in Kera, yeah, I would have Kera in there. I just think Kafal, he's just never two games the same, in my opinion. It really is. What we got? Troji's like literally filling up everyone. What we got here? If when Aguerd comes back, okay, well, should we switch to 3-5-2? I'm just not a fan of it, Peter, mate. I really am not. I think 3-5-2. Have we got really 5 midfielders in there who can sort of do that sort of work? If we're going to play that, then you play Corner as a left wing back or left-sided winger. And you play Bowen as your right wing back. But then you're losing the fact that the threat from Bowen. I just don't like that system, if I'm honest. So I would like to see us play 4-3-3 and have sort of Aguerd as your left-sided centre half with Zuma, Kera right back, and either Emerson or Cresswell as left back, in my opinion. If I have a team that's worth 200 million and I spend 170 million to improve it, that makes me favourites to compete with another team that is originally worth 500 million. But West Ham's not worth 200 million though. Eamon. West Ham's worth 600, 700 million. So, do you know what I'm saying? When West Ham are spending 170 million, you've got to respect it. People are going to look at him and go, why are we in the bottom half of the table struggling? Well, you don't like to admit it, Eamon, but come on. The last 2 seasons, Moyes has helped us punch above our weight. This season is about bedding the new players in. That's why our best route to Europe is the cup competition. But it's a lot of pressure to win that. You are literally saying that we have got to win the conference, which is a must. Like, we can't make no mistakes. Now, for me, I disagree on that. I think when you have signed top players who are ready to play, they've been top players for a while. That's why you've signed them. So West Ham should be playing better than what they are playing currently, in my opinion. Do you know what I'm saying? Team, not club, I think he means. Oh. Fixtures has been looking good for Torino. He's probably because they are playing him as a cam, where Moyes plays him on the wing. I just think the league suits him, mate, if I'm honest. Italian league, slower league. I think it suits him. He's playing for Torino. He's not playing for one of the big hitters. So good luck to Vlasic. Don't get me wrong. I've got no hate against Vlasic. But you've got to be real. He don't get any of the top 6 sides in Syria. And yeah, he does look good over there. But I think the league suits him rather than England for me. How are the new West Ham players in total worth 600 million? West Ham have got a big squad of players, Eamon, yeah? And when you've just spent 170 million to boost their squad, each of them players is going to sell-on value is going to go up higher. Do you know what I mean? Declan Rice is worth at least 150 million, at least. Do you know what I mean? When you look at Calvin Phillips and you look at Declan Rice absolutely pisses all over him. Do you know what I'm saying? Declan hasn't been the same recently, but I think that's because his missus has just had a kid. So there's 150 million. Bowen, you got 80 million for Bowen, right? Straight away. He's young. If he replicates the form that he played last year, then that will go up. And I think we've got a lot of players that will sign, like Kira. I think we've signed Kira for £10.1 million. He's not a £10 million player, mate. I'm telling you that now. I don't know a German player who's been signed this summer who's worth 10.1 million, who's a regular for the German national side. So I think PSG just let him go on the cheap, and I think we've nabbed this geezer completely out of nowhere. So, don't know, Eamon. Have a look at the old squad. What we got? Vlasic has never been a winger until he joined West Ham. Yeah, it's very true. Maybe the league is a lot easier. Yeah. Serie A is a good league. It's very physical and tough defensively. It is, but then also it's very slow and all. Very slow. Dear. What have we got here? Souček is a £100 million player. Epic. You want one, son. Serie A is a good league, but the Premier League is the best league. I totally agree on that, mate. I really do. Listen, I'm going to wrap it up there. I've nearly hit the hour mark, but I'm going to round it up with this. I think that sort of mini break that we've had, no Newcastle game, has done West Ham good. I think hopefully Moyes and the boys have been on the training field, gelling into a system that we can see a new, fresh West Ham side. I think Thursday night is going to be a game where I can see us taking the lead and rolling this team over. But I just want a professional performance done in Denmark. No injuries, no cards. Just get it done, get out of there, get home. That is it. Sunday for me is a big game. Everton away is never an easy game to go to. Everton will have, obviously, their new signings playing, and Onana will be playing for them. Now, I need to see something on Sunday. Like if we set up there and we don't have a shot on target in the first half, again, away from home, then it's a worry. It's a worry because that'll be Villa, Chelsea, and it will be Everton away from home. Yeah. So on Sunday, I need to see something. We need to win that game, or if not, at best, do not lose the game. Do you know what I'm saying? I think if we lose the game, questions are going to be asked on Moyes. There's no two ways about it. He spent a lot of money. He's got a lot of talented players there, and he's not getting the best out of them. So questions will be asked. I don't want Moyes to go. I'm giving him a lot more time than people at present are giving him. But I do need to see something. Someone mentioned it earlier on about stubbornness. There is a stubborn mentality with the man, and I think that does have to change before the international break. Well, I just need to see something fresh. That's the only thing I will say, and hopefully we get a positive result on Merseyside on Sunday. Quickly get to this comment. Jimbo, would you take Tuchel tomorrow if he fancied the job? Not for me, mate. He's just not a West Ham man for me, mate. West Ham man are more like Tuchel's all about himself and not about the club, and he's just very, very arrogant. I'm honest. I have a feeling we will come good against Everton. Come on, you evening, everyone. I hope you're all right, mate. Listen, so I'm going to round it up at that. Please do smash a like on the video and please do subscribe to the channel if you are new around here. If there is no watch along on Thursday night, there will be a player ratings in the evening. Mitchell is going to come on and we're going to do the player ratings for the game against Silkeborg in Denmark. So, yeah, we will be here on Thursday night regardless whatever happens. If we lose to Everton, Moyes will be gone. Fans are not happy, mate. I don't know why, but I get it and I understand why. Don't get me wrong. So, yeah, smash a like on the video, subscribe to the channel. And listen, I'm going to end it on this. It's been a rough few days for a lot of people up and down the land and what's going on and everything. And, yeah, just look after each other. Be kind to each other. Be respectful to each other. If you don't always agree with people, right, you haven't got to always agree with people, but you can respect their opinion. You know what I'm saying? And then we will see what happens. So look after yourselves and each other. Take care. All the best. And I'll see you again in the next one. Peace.
there it is. I've never found a love like this.